Hey guys, welcome to J-Dubs Aquatics. In today's video, I'm going to give you a 6-week update on my 75-gallon display, 115-gallon system. I've got a new format for my update videos, and the way I'm planning on doing this is I'm going to give you an update once a month on the following. New additions to the tank, fish and coral losses, coral growth, equipment changes, maintenance routine changes, feeding updates, and water parameter updates. If you guys have any suggestions on different topics you'd like me to update each month, feel free to leave it in the comments below, and I'd be happy to hear your suggestions. Let's get started. I'll show you guys what's going on with the tank and show you some close-ups of the new corals.
Alright, so I've got some great new coral additions this week. Here we have a nice little piece of a green Montipora spongeode. Very beautiful piece, and as it grows the rim gets a nice purple color to it. So I can't wait to see that come in as that piece grows in my Monty garden here. I also picked up this green Monty cap, and it's kind of a funky shaped frag, so I might break off the lower portion and place that somewhere on this rock where it'll get a little bit better light. Also, for new additions, I have this beautiful purple Montipora digitata. It's also starting to extend its polyps already. I'm really liking that piece. I accidentally fragged it though when I was placing it in the tank. So a little bit to the left there you can see a small piece of it that I'm probably going to end up putting on a plug and putting it in the frag tank. The last new addition for frags this week is I got all these little pieces of a green bird's nest for 10 bucks, so not bad. They're all really small, but I got 8 pieces of it, so for 10 bucks, can't complain. But the polyps are all coming out looking good. So that's it for additions this week. Fish and coral losses. I actually have not lost any fish, and as you just saw a glimpse over there, I forgot to mention I added a yellow tang yesterday, and he's doing very well so far. He's very lively and active, very curious, and I think it's going to be a matter of hours before he comes out and starts gobbling on that seaweed. So I'll take that out, put some fresh seaweed in for him in a bit, and I'm guessing he's probably going to come out and start eating tonight. But he's looking great. Very happy about him. So I have not lost any fish. All the fish are doing great so far. Coral losses, I actually have not lost any entire colonies of anything or any frags. I did think I was going to lose this little acro frag up here. I did have some tissue recession and some green algae growth on it, and you can still see there's a little bit of green algae on it. But the polyps are starting to come out, and I've done a dip in Coral RX, and I do think it's going to make it, so hopefully I'll have a good progress report on that one for you guys next month. My torch, I do think I'm probably going to lose this head down here, and this one is probably the one I'm struggling with most out of anything in the tank right now. I just did a dip in this one in Coral RX yesterday as well, and it does seem to be starting to extend a bit more. I'm not entirely sure what the cause of what's agitating this coral so much, but I suspect the Asterina stars that have been eating my coralline algae have been eating the flesh on my torch, because I have pulled a few off here in the recent months. So that's what I suspect, but I'll be keeping a close eye on this one, and hopefully this one will perk up as well. Everything else has perked up very well. My Monties were bleaching a bit. My red candy cap over here was almost totally white on the right side, and it's getting some color back now. My orange Monty there was almost totally bleached, and it's looking nice and orange. Polyps are all out. This little, I believe it's a Montipora, an encrusting Montipora. Up here, it's also starting to come out again. And oh yeah, this is a I believe it's a tubenaria coral. This one over here is also struggling just a little bit, but I've moved it and hopefully it'll start to extend again, as that one's been growing and doing quite well for me for a while in the old system. The cactus coral frag over here is starting to extend nicely, doing very well. So that's it for everything that was really struggling. That's all bouncing back. So let's move on to the next topic. Alright, for coral growth this month, we have had a bit on some of the corals already. My leathers up here are really taking off, and they're just starting to grow like crazy. Probably faster than anything in the system right now. This orange Montipora here, you can see this nice white rim. This is already encrusting onto that rock a bit there and starting to plate out nicely. So that one is growing very well. Out of all the SPS, that one's definitely growing more than anything right now. This little red piece of Montipora here, it's got a little bit of white rim starting to grow on the sides. And the red candy cap, which was bleaching a bit, actually does have a little bit of new growth on the left sides there. So that's about it for new growth over there. This little Montipora frag here does also have a little bit of new growth down here on the right side. Cactus coral, it's kind of hard to tell when this one grows for me personally, but I think it has grown just a little bit. My purple candy canes over here, they had about 12 heads when I originally bought them almost a year ago, and they didn't grow very much in my old system. I actually ended up losing 4 heads and was down to 8, and after being put into this system, they have actually split several heads, and now I'm back up to 12 again. And they're looking nice, big, and puffy. They're extending their sweeper tentacles, or their feeder tentacles, I'm sorry, during several times during the day, so they're looking very well. The green candy canes back there are also doing great. As far as other LPS, I haven't had a whole lot of growth out of my Duncans yet. They're looking nice, big, and healthy, but haven't seen any new heads come in. My Favia down here, war coral, just a tiny bit of new growth on the back side there. Frog spawn, I haven't really noticed any new growth, but it is looking very good. And my zoes are starting to grow just a little bit, and just one colony, forgot to mention, is struggling a bit down here. And zoes can be finicky sometimes, so I'm not sure what's the cause of that, but I'll be keeping an eye out for pests. Equipment changes, I don't have a whole lot to report right now. Only thing is, I did take the circulation pump that was in the last chamber, so I really don't think I need it in there, and I actually placed it into my refugium, as it doesn't push a whole lot of water, but I did think I did not have enough flow going through the refugium to keep the algae from sitting in one spot all day and basically rotting. And it was starting to rot in a few spots, and I pulled off the dead spots, and after increasing the flow in here, I do think it looks like it's getting some color back and it's going to start growing again, so I'll be giving you guys updates on that as well. That's really the only equipment change, other than I have added my GFO into the reactor, so I'm now maintaining my phosphates that way. For maintenance on the system right now, I'm just doing a water change every 2 weeks of about 10 gallons, and I'm dosing Aquavitro fuel once a week, the recommended dose for my 115 gallon system. Calcium and alkalinity are now being dosed automatically through my BRS peristaltic dosing pumps, so I don't have to do that manually anymore. I blast the rocks off usually once every 2 weeks with a turkey baster and get as much detritus off the rocks as I possibly can, and that gets that into the overflow and down into the filter sock. I change my filter sock twice a week. Scrub the front of the sumps glass occasionally if it starts to get dirty with algae scrubber. And about once every week or so, scrub the front of the glass and the sides of the glass of the display and frag tank with flipper cleaner to keep them clean. And that's really about it for my maintenance routine right now. For feeding right now, what I'm feeding my fish is mostly frozen food and a little bit of New Life Spectrum pellets. I feed mysis shrimp a couple times a week and Ocean Nutrition brine shrimp plus usually at least once a week as well. For the corals, I have been occasionally feeding Reef chili, and I give them a little bit of mysis when I feed the fish mysis usually as well. That's about it for feeding. Alright, I thought of one more topic already. I figured I'll also throw in a brief update on the 20-gallon frag tank, as it is part of the system. So to give you an update on what's going on in here, the fish are all the same. There's the clown, the damsel, and the pajama cardinal. I think I might sell the pajama cardinal, he's just not really my favorite. I took in the Kenya tree and some zoes and paleys and green star polyp, and that's what I used to pay for the tang the other day. Or yesterday, I'm sorry. There's a tiny bit of cyanobacteria on those two rocks and a bit of diatom still. But it's starting to fade away, so I'll keep you guys updated on that as well. Alright, and finally, the last topic, water parameters. I'm sorry this video was run on for so long. I was just trying to be thorough, but I'll do my best to shorten these up in the future. So the water parameters are temperature 78 degrees, pH 8.2, alkalinity 9.1 DKH, calcium 470, magnesium 1350, ammonia 0, nitrite 0, nitrate 2 parts per million, phosphate 0.0 parts per million, and salinity of 1.026. That's it for the update this month, guys. I want to take a moment to say thank you to all of my new subscribers and all of my loyal subscribers that have also been there with me from the beginning. I really appreciate each and every one of you. So thank you very much for being a part of my channel and for making it what it is. I also want to take a moment to welcome you to subscribe to my channel if you're not already a subscriber. It doesn't cost you anything, and I'll be doing my best to give you guys at least once a month update on the system. Thank you for watching the video today, and happy fish keeping.